Notice we have problems here. We have a housing crisis, by the way, a big one. Do you have kids? Ask them. According to the Wall Street Journal, the amount of available entry-level housing in the United States, and that's defined as homes up to 1,400 square feet, is at a 5-decade low. So when the supply shrinks, the cost rises. The median value of a home in California just rose above $800,000, first time in history. Less than 40% of the millennial generation will own a home by the age of 34. They're all renting, and rent is going up too, a lot. The growth in median rent outpaced the growth in median renter income in nearly every state between 2001 and 2019. That's a disaster. That's a terrible development for American citizens. So why is it happening? Well, lots of reasons, but one reason it's happening is America's becoming a lot more crowded than it ever was. And one of the reasons for that is that we're now living through the biggest influx of refugees in American history. We are on pace for at least 2 million illegal immigrants arriving in America this year alone. That's far more than the number of asylum applicants who arrived in Europe in 2015. That was over 1 million, just over 1 million.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about this right now, but I want you to remember the video you just saw, because I think this is one of the purest examples of everything that is truckers' shtick. It is, hey, I'm a populist. I'm going to acknowledge the actual issues that are facing you, the core economic issues. And then I'm gonna link it to some xenophobic BS that not only has nothing to do with the problem, like if you were to list the top 100 things contributing to our housing crisis, Afghan refugees would not be on that list. So it's not only not connected, but factually, he could not be more wrong than he actually is. We're gonna break down how, but I know that Brett is stewing. So Brett, what do you think about this right-wing populism?
I got confused on which Tucker stuff we were focusing on today. I did not see that before this. I did not expect it, because I was expecting the thing that he's like, no, I have a whole hour of a show and I can take 4 minutes out of it to say things that will give me a plausible out in the future when I'm accused of wanton xenophobia and white replacement theory. But no, we waste not a moment here on Tucker Carlson. We take everything from one side, the populist issue, and we tie it to the same damn thing, xenophobia and racism. Do we want to list all the contributing factors to this? The reason we're getting more crowded is because people are moving to cities. When people are moving to cities, because there is no economic opportunity in the places that you purport to defend the most. But rather than defend them with actual policy initiatives and ways they can constructively try to go influence Congress, and if you're so interested in a party realignment, which that is exactly why Tucker is barking all this populist stuff, he knows that there aren't enough Republicans to vote for his tax breaks for him personally, Swanson broth pleated pant Carlson. He now knows that he needs to give them something to get mad at. And he needs to peel away people. So he goes and has Jimmy Dore on, and he's like, say whatever the hell you want. Say Medicare for all. I'm not gonna say anything explicit about that, but I am now going to point everyone that is now watching my show at refugees. It's their fault, it's their problem. Or censorship, yes, let's get mad at them. It's their problem, because that platform is where they all stew in to get all their information and all their motivation to hate the other. He's created this gross petri dish of putrescence and hate. And these are all the organic materials that he needs to put into it on a daily basis so the fungus can grow stronger.
That I can't fact check the biology there, I'm not sure, but I think that you're 100% right about your analysis of his strategy. Yeah, there will be some brief reference to ruling elites or the housing crisis or whatever. He'll briefly mention it, and then he will point you to refugees or black academics or trans athletes or women soldiers or whatever. That is what, it's not even, I don't even understand why they use the term populism as if it has anything to do with populism as a concept. It is an incredibly transparent, shallow invocation of real problems, no interest whatsoever in dealing with them, and using that, weaponizing the concern against outgroups. That's all it is. That's all it is whatsoever. But anyway, I also want to show how he's wrong. People are saying we're going to miss the D block if we fact check the whole thing, but we're going to go quickly through this. The country, first of all, is not overcrowded. It's a massive country. We can fit a lot of people, but to the extent that it is crowded in any places, it's more of what Brett is saying. And it's certainly not because of refugees. Let's take a look at refugee resettlement ceilings from 1980 to this year. Shockingly, back in the 80s, we actually used to take in far more refugees than now. I have no idea if that was a reasonable number when it was at 250,000 or close to 200,000. Maybe we could have taken 5 times as much. I don't know, but we take far less, and it has been trending down over time. Both the actual official ceilings and how many are actually coming in. You can see that as of this year, the ceiling went up quite a bit, although still lower than was generally the trend over the past few decades. But something like less than 5,000 refugees have actually been brought in. And yes, it is a pandemic, but we're gonna see over the next few years, even if Democrats remain in charge, if we will actually see a big raise to those numbers. And so refugees are not crowding the country. Even the reference he made there to 2 million people, he is being 100% willfully dishonest there. There are something like 2 million encounters between Border Patrol and migrants, and virtually all of those are immediately deported or eventually deported, which he knows. They're not immediately handed a house in Ohio. That's not how any of that works. And so we go farther, but it's just nonsense. And it is just designed to get people who are angry about their economic position instead of looking for some sort of solution. Does he advocate for aid to renters? A clearing of their rent so that they don't lose everything? You'll notice he does not do that. Instead, it's just hate the brown people, hate the people from Afghanistan. That's all he gives them.
He wants them, yeah, he doesn't want to pay for anything. He doesn't want to spend anything. He doesn't want to do any actual change of anything. He wants to give people something to be angry at that's free for him. That's it. It's free for him to do all this stuff. The other stuff costs resources and time and planning and everything, but he just wants to be like, critical race theory, that's it. That's a boogeyman. That doesn't exist. What he's complaining about with critical race theory doesn't exist. And with the and all the other issues aren't big issues, but they can become issues. It's the difference between manufacturing consent and what Fox does, which is manufacturing dissent. And that is exactly where we've headed with all of news and all of social media in this day and age. It's either like, it's crazy. It's uppers and downers nonstop. It is the thing that makes you most angry and the thing that makes you feel so ecstatic that you can't parallel it. So that's why you seek out more of it. It's like really happy news and really horrible news. And they are manufacturing dissent. They come up with fake things for you to be mad at. Critical race theory is not taught in any of these schools. They want to redefine critical race theory as anything that reminds you that the people who founded this country owned slaves.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. And look, you could help with rent. You could propose some sort of legislation to massively increase the amount of affordable housing that gets built, subsidized or directly built by the government. You could do so much. The infrastructure bill, green infrastructure to produce jobs in areas that people are moving out of, to thereby increase the effective housing supply. I mean, look, I'm not a policy expert in this area. I'm just a regular guy with a YouTube show. This isn't that complicated to come up with at least something. He knows this stuff. He doesn't care. As Brett said, he doesn't want to pay the money. He's not interested in the actual solutions. They are a means to an end. Anyway.
Yeah. And
really
there's people in the chat saying like ban corporate ownership of single family homes. You can, because that's another thing. Like there's giant investment groups that are buying up homes and renting them out. It's like somewhere between like hostile takeover and just Airbnb-ing America.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.